No, speaking about the audience, the first time Daniel Radcliffe steps on stage, all you hear is from the entire audience.
Everyone
gasp. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's like he's this mythical creature, like all of a sudden it goes into the clearing and you're like, oh my god, it's real.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's the whole reason I went, was to see Daniel Radcliffe and his junk.
And
his magic wand.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Wingardium Leviosa!
Oh no, and then there was like so many teenagers, like little young girls in the audience. The amount of young girls in the audience was insane. You know that they basically just told their parents...
They only went because Daniel Radcliffe's in it! Then they get there.
I was also under the impression that it was entirely a nude play, right?
Same here. I remember that, like, we were looking it up online. I thought it was an entire nude play, which, you know, they do. They have.
I wish you could take in Heather's face right now.
Yes.
She looks appalled. Eyes bulging, mouth gaping. Yeah, so when we got there and everyone was clothed, we were like, the hell is this? I want my money back.
No, the nudity was only for 5 minutes.
At the very end.
At the very end of the play, and we'll get there. We're almost there. We'll get there.
We're almost to intermission.
Yes. So what ends up happening is Daniel Radcliffe's character ends up taking up a job at a local barn, and he's basically the stable boy. He's quiet, and I think the barn owner's daughter has this huge crush on him, and she's sending him out all these signals, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that she has a crush on him. So he's just kind of like, oh, and she was always hanging around me. She was always by me, and the Uncle Dursley guy is like, oh, well, how did that make you feel? He's like, well, I don't understand. It was weird. So,
still has like a child's mentality.
Yeah.
Like, that bitch has cooties.
So, like, he's been working for them for a while, and then the psychiatrist ends up contacting the barn owner and asking him about Daniel Radcliffe's character, like what he did at the barn. Like, he was quiet, he did his work, but then he noticed some things were weird, like the horses would be taken out at night.
Oh, and, that's right,
yeah, like there was one called Nugget that he really liked. Nugget!
That's right!
Nugget, who was also the guy who played the guy riding the horse. So he was all over this guy the entire play. And
that just sounds so wrong.
But the guy was really
Hey! They were all hot.
They were all hot. The other stuff I could do without. Pony play is not my thing, but they were pretty.
I'm surprised.
So, anyway.
Unless that one episode of Bones comes on.
There will be a review for that one episode of Bones. If anyone knows what we're talking about, trust me, there will be that episode of Bones.
I want to watch
Mr.
episode.
Ed.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed. But, so, like, he notices, like, he's doing these strange things with the horse, and then they end up actually having, like, a flashback to when he's getting the horse all set up, and he's, like, quoting Bible verses that include horses in them, and
he's doing a sheep cleaning. Oh, wait, wrong play.
Wrong play. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Do I really want to put this on the internet?
Do it. Oh my god. Sorry, continue.
So, like, he ends up, like...
Kirby just went, sheep cleaning, what?
Yeah.
Sheep cleaning.
Oh.
And there we go.
Like choking the chicken. Same barn, different story, you know?
Yeah.
If my brain hurts, everyone else is much chewer.
Yeah, no, he's, like, all over the horse. They just have, like, the entire scene where he's, you know, riding Nugget, and...
Yeah, right? He's like a little bit more attached to the horses than he should be.
Much
still
more
has
attached.
That spiritual... It's not like he's, like, making out with Mr.
Yeah.
Ed or anything,
No, and then...
he's just very touchy-feely.
Yeah. And then there's the girl saying, like, oh, I understand being close to horses, and he's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, oh, well, when you're a young girl, they're kind of like your boyfriend, and when I heard this, I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're a horse. That's... Ugh, like, if you're a horse person, you heard some of the things coming out of this chick's mouth, it would make you really uncomfortable, because you're like, horse people aren't like that. Please, dear God, don't think that. But, like, saying,
like, to
oh,
clarify, I was never a little girl who wanted a horse. I never wanted a pony for my birthday. I was not into them.
So basically what we're coming down to is Equus has made the subject of horses awkward for everyone involved.
True.
So Daniel Radcliffe's character won't tell Uncle Dursley's character, you know, why he did it, like why he had the craziness or what he did to the horses, and eventually he gives him, I don't know, a water or something, and tells him it has truth serum in it, so that he'll be more loose with his words.
Better serum!
Yeah, basically. And this is when Daniel Radcliffe's character is actually, well, Daniel Radcliffe himself, he's smoking on stage. Like, he's just sitting there with Uncle Dursley, you know, smoking on the back porch kind of a deal, talking about, you know, what he did to the horses. And the chick, I think, really liked him and seduced him. And they like went into the hayloft.
I remember this scene actually.
Yeah.
It was really awkward because both of them were just standing there with like a hay bale between them, right? And they start just taking off their clothes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was completely unprovoked.
It was
The
just
chick
random.
was just like taking off the
taking off the
shirt,
bra,
taking off the pants, taking off the bra. Right? And then on the side, isn't Mr. What's-His-Face, the psychiatrist on the side,
Yeah,
he's like,
talking.
and then what happened?
Yeah.
Right? I remember this perfectly. The girl lied down. She's naked. They're both naked. This is the naked part. It's like 5 minutes. This is why I remember it, because it's only 5 minutes. So she lies down on the hay bale, and she's, like, with her head facing the audience, and he's behind her facing the audience naked. And he's like, put it in her! I put it in her! And he's, like, making the gestures or whatever. Yep. And then the psychiatrist guy, he's like, did you really? And he's like, no, right?
No, it was like an epic no.
And then he starts jumping around the stage. Strobe lights, yeah. And this is when he blinded the horses, right?
Yeah.
Because the horses saw him doing this ungodly act.
Thought like Equus was viewing him, like even though he couldn't see
the main horse
horses,
god. So he had to blind the horses because of what they've seen and because of his own internal problems with it. So he's jumping around the stage like 10 feet high, magic wand blowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
You guys are speechless now, right?
Yes. No, and it's like at the end, it's basically just like, okay, we've had a breakthrough with him. You know, he's the psychiatrist was actually like, he wasn't sure he was going to keep his practice, but like after seeing this, he's still not sure if he's going to keep his practice or something. And it just, the play ends at this point, and Daniel Radcliffe is like, you know, huddled in the fetal position. Uncle Dursley puts a blanket over him, and they leave the stage. Like, he takes his hand and he takes him off stage, and then they come out again after he has, you know, after he has like a towel on. Yeah, has like a towel on, and like they all take a bow, and then they leave.
I can never watch Harry Potter again.
No, you can't. You cannot watch the first Harry Potter.
Oh God, when he's like 11?
No, ever again. You cannot. No, it just taints your perception of the film for the rest of your life. You cannot watch it innocently ever again. And I actually went to go see Daniel Radcliffe on stage again. I went to go see How to Succeed at Business Without Even Trying, because one of my high school friends got tickets.
Does he get naked in this one?
He doesn't. He's fully clothed in a suit and a tie the entire time.
Sexy.
And he actually does a pretty damn good, like, American accent. And he sings. Like, you know, who knew?
Better?
He definitely sings better in this, in How to Succeed in Business Without Even Trying. And he's brilliant. I was really surprised, like, with Uncle Dursley. Like, he's an amazing actor, and you only get, like, a smidgen of him in the Harry Potter movies. If that was, like, your only exposure to him, that is, like, a drop in the bucket to what he can do. So, alright, I guess we'll close this up. Why?
Why did you make me sit through this?
It had to be
commentary.
Somebody unlock the door! Help!
Alright, so I'd like to thank Beauty Girl, aka Heather, for tolerating us against her will. And
scarred her for life.
Completely. And I'd like to thank Carly for going with me into New York and for coming today and having us record this. So
absolutely not a problem.
So all you fans out there, there will be more to come. And again, if you are a small kid and you are still watching this, you've made it to the end, but shame on you. And that's a wrap.
My brain!